Oh, that is better. It is working. It's, man, I'm telling you something. Technology can be a pain in the butt when it wants to. It's great because we can do things, we can have meetings during this pandemic that we couldn't have had when I was young. But when it doesn't work, man, it becomes a freaking headache. But I am here and you can see me and I can see you. Well, I can't see you. Technology's not that good yet. But hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm back. Sorry I had to miss my alma mater won their first round of the playoff game on Friday, and this is how bad things are for me, for us old folks. It makes me upset because now the team, my alma mater, now they only have to win 4 games to win a state championship. 4. When I was coming up, you had to win 5. Now here's the caveat. It only seems like 1 game, but there's 2 teams that get a bye. All they gotta do is win 3 games to win a state championship. Think about that. 3 games to win a state championship when you had to win 5 when I was coming up. It's ridiculous. And then they don't even play all the teams in their class because now they have a select, which is private schools, magnet schools, charter schools, and they have non-select, which is your public schools. So we don't even play everybody anymore. So it's ridiculous. But I digress. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good weekend. If you have any questions, comments, statements, you can hit me up on Twitter, YouTube, Periscope, all that good stuff. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good weekend. But I know who didn't have a good weekend. Kentucky basketball. Jeez whiz. Wasn't shocked by the men's game, actually. Although they played a decent game. But to imagine them running the table at the end was kind of a stretch. And even though I thought they should have won the game, that freaking out of bounds play when a guy threw it back into Boston, it was obvious his foot hit the ground, even in live action. And watching the replay, it was even more obvious. I'm not a guy who wants to complain about the refs and say we have gotten the short end of the stick, but I can say this year we have gotten the short end of the freaking stick. We have pulled off whatever the last game. What was the game where they got the freaking charge? Tennessee game. That was ridiculous. And now this game was just as bad. It's unfortunate because these guys, they don't need the refs against them. And this was crazy, man. I'm pissed off about that. And then the women to lose to Ole Miss again. They got swept in the regular season, which is shocking. I'm still shocked by that. They should not lose to Ole Miss twice. Now, the positive thing about this is we need to play Ole Miss in the tournament because Ole Miss is not going to beat us 3 times. So I would like to see us play Ole Miss in the tournament because, like I said, they're not going to beat us twice. I don't think we're going to play Ole Miss, but that would be a team that I would look forward to playing because our women's team is too good to lose 3 in a row. And the crazy part about it is I was complaining about Ryan Howard not shooting the ball 20 times in a game. And then in this game, she shoots to 20 and has a bad night. So now I feel bad that I even said what I said because now she shot over 20 times and didn't shoot a good percentage. I feel much better, which is obvious, about the women in the tournament than the men. I don't know, but Texas A&M has proven to be a better team. Probably the best team in the conference. I thought it'd be South Carolina, but Texas A&M is right now is balling on the winning side. I hope our women figure it out. Now, the good thing about the women, and I've said this on here, is they're hearing that Kiki and Tad is coming back. Now, I don't know if Tad is committed to playing next year, but she will be back at least. But having Kiki back is going to help out a lot. Like I said shows ago, just the leadership. She to me is the Draymond of the team. We all trust her. LZ trusts her. And she gives us something that we don't have. I was glad to see Treasure Hunt starting to get some more time. I think she's starting to gain a footing with the college level expectations, what you need to do, effort level, looking for your shot, being ready to shoot. Because it's like in football, those holes in football close real quick. Just like the same thing, those closeouts, the team closes out much better than they do in high school. So when she gets the ball, she needs to be ready to shoot because she's a really good shooter. And I said that last year. I can't wait to see her play with Ryan again. Didn't even know about Massengill was coming, but she can play. And I can't wait to see what they do in this tournament, and I can't wait to see what they do in the NCAA tournament. It's going to be fun. I hope it's fun. My expectations were high, and the bad thing about having expectations is you can be disappointed. And I hope I'm not disappointed because I set the bar really high for the women this year. Really high. And I hope that they can pull it through and get hot. It's like I tell people with athletes, which I'm going to get into that album. I might say we're right into that. No, I'm going to talk about something else. Young athletes, parents and coaches worry too much about their kid or their athlete being the best 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old player. That does not matter. You have to peak at the right time. You want to peak in your junior year. Peak in your junior year. And if you peak in your junior year, you have a chance to continue playing on the next level. College coaches don't care what you did as an 8th grader, what you did as a 6th grader, what you did as a freshman, what you even did as a sophomore. Like I retweeted a tweet today about from Duke's coach. And Carol Lawson made a great statement about coaches care about what you're going to do next, what you're going to do in the next 5, what you're going to do next 10 years. They don't care what you did in the past. They want to see what you can do in the future. And if you resting on I was the best 5th grader, that's not something to worry about. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. So I hope the women is going to peak in the tournament, and that will carry them on, the SEC tournament, and that will carry them on to the NCAA tournament. And we get on a run, we get hot, we make a Final Four run. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to stick with Kentucky right now. I want to say something. I know Kawhi Mahomes is in the portal. And it's not, I wish he wouldn't have, because we need that depth. But here's the thing, and I tweeted this too. Transfer portal is not a bad thing when guys are leaving for a certain reason. If they leaving because they don't like the coach, they don't like the program, they don't like the direction that the program is heading, that's a separate issue. From a guy leaving because he needs to get more playing time, more game film, because his aspirations to play on the next level. The way you get on the next level, you got to get game reps on film. And if Mahomes thinks he can go somewhere else and get more game reps because he feels like there's guys nipping on his heels and he can see the writing on the wall that other guys going to probably get more playing time to him, that's not a bad thing. That shows that we are recruiting well. And not only recruiting well 1 year, we're recruiting well year after year after year, which is creating competition, which means you're going to have some attrition. Somebody's going to have to leave because there's no one wants to sit down or wants to share too much time with an underclassman. Now, that 2020 class of underclassmen, they have to grow up. And I know people feel like, to me, people feel like, oh, well, we have an issue with the defensive line, or we have an issue with sacks. Sacks, to me, Team sacks. Now, if you have a stud, it's different. But team sacks is like team interceptions. It comes in bunches. It comes in bunches. And I don't think, and I said this all last year, I didn't have a problem with the amount of pressure we put on teams. Because we consistently put pressure on. We just couldn't get there. But like I've said in the past, as a corner, I want pressures, not sacks. Because pressures gives me a chance to break on a ball that a quarterback doesn't throw with everything he has. He doesn't step into his throw, and it can flutter, or it can hang in the air a little bit longer, and it gives me a chance to break and potentially intercept it, potentially take it to the house. I'm not so worried about that. And if we are so worried about pressure, we will blitz more. And if we're not blitzing more, that means the coaches are not really, it's not high on their list of concerns. Because you can get pressure easy. Bring 5 to 6. That's the easiest thing to do. Now, the thing about it is, do you trust the back end to hold if they don't get there? So I'm not so concerned. I've read some stuff about the defense being a concern with Mahomes leaving and the defensive front. I'm not so worried about it. Here's the thing that I've heard from insiders is Vito might play outside linebacker. Now, he's undersized, but he plays bigger than his size. And if you want pressure, put him on the perimeter. I guarantee you he will find a way to get to the quarterback. So, like I said 2 years ago, after we lost that great group of DBs we had in the 3 corners, I said there will be no concern with the corners. I'm going to say it again. March 1st, there will be no concern about the defensive front. And don't let J.J. Weaver come back sooner than expected. There will really be no concern. Trust me. We have to trust our coaches that has proven on defense that they can produce. I think give my man Stu, give Coach White, those guys are going to find a way to get pressure. And I think this young group of guys have a little bit more quick twitch than the older guys. Some of this Oxidine, Rogers, Josiah, they're going to get to the quarterback. I promise you on that. So I'm not so concerned. I know when you look on paper, you got sophomore, and is McCall a senior, and you lost some experience. But really, we didn't lose experience because the guys that were backups were sharing time with everybody else. It's not like they were starters. So I'm going to say this. Pascal is the leader of that group. And if Pascal can stay healthy, he can stay healthy. Because I can tell you can tell he has some bumps and bruises. If he can stay healthy and team him up with McCall and Ox or McCall and Gibson, we're fine. We have a good 6-man rotation. I mean, last year we had too much depth. Not too much depth. We had an abundance of depth. You can go 6. If you can rotate 6 guys, you're fine. Because one thing is going to probably happen is when we go on passing downs, we're probably going to bring a Neely or we're going to bring Dingle into pass rush. So I'm not concerned. I'm going to say this. Looking at the stuff, there's nothing really to be concerned about. I understand experience. What if some people get hurt? But we still got more depth than you think. We still got more. And the other thing is, it's kind of like the O-line, right? Is how you can move guys around. If you lose a left tackle, right? You can take your right tackle and move them over there and then just bring in a right tackle or move your right guard to right tackle, then bring in a right guard. I think you do the same thing with the defensive line. I think we have a couple guys who can play multiple positions. So I understand the concern. Let's get through spring. I think we're going to be fine at the defensive line. No problem. I really think the defense, the one thing that is a worry is outside linebacker position. Rather it's the Jack or the Sam, or do they call it the Will? Whatever, the other outside linebacker will be a potential issue. However, I still think we got enough talent and depth. It's inexperienced talent and depth, but if we have a normal, regular football season where we're not playing a straight SEC, I think we're going to be fine. All right, last thing, and I don't know if I might do this. I might cover two more things. What I want to talk about? I want to talk about J.J. Watt. I want to talk about track. Let me talk about J.J. Watt. The Texans are a horrible organization right now. I don't think J.J. Watt ever envisioning himself leaving the Texans and playing for another organization. But the way they have ran that organization is absolutely horrible. They about to lose their franchise quarterback that they just signed to a big deal, and they lost the face of the organization. Defensive MVP. Been there since he been drafted. And to lose him to Arizona, really? It's unfortunate. That's one guy that I respect, and he should have stayed with one team. And to see him go to Arizona bothers me. But you can't pass up the nice little money he got. He's teaming up with D-Hop, and he's going to a warm climate. Pretty good deal for him at his age. Last thing I'm going to talk about is track. I watched the SEC championships. I watched the ACC indoor championship. And I watched the high school Adidas national championship. Since the New Balance canceled their indoor championship this year, most of the kids went to the Adidas one. And since a lot of indoor state meets were canceled, it was a pretty damn good meet. I'm going to tell you something. There's a junior from IMG Academy named Jalen Slade. He's a freaking junior. Listen to him again. He is a freaking junior. Let me read what I got because I want to get the times correct. And I know what they were. It was a 20-point and a 6.8 and a 46. I know that. But let me get the exact numbers. This kid, over the weekend, ran a 20.62 indoor 200 meters, which an indoor, although it was a bank track, you can probably take off a couple tenths when he goes outdoor because indoor you got to run two curves. Outdoor you only got one run. And a curve is where it gives you a little bit of problem. That guy ran a 20.62 this early in the season. He might break the 20-second barrier as a junior in high school. He comes back, runs to 60. If you watch the race, if you're a track person, watch. You can go to, I think you just search Adidas National Indoor, and then you can watch the replay. This guy ran a 6.68 and a 60. And his start was absolutely horrendous. He reminds me of Usain Bolt. His start was putrid. Yeah, it was horrible. And his top end speed, he came and beat the guy at the end. Incredible. The first 20 meters, I thought it was over because he was behind by a couple body lengths, which is in the 60 meter would have been so quick, is forever. And when you saw us hit his top speed, it was done. Then they came on. Their team barely missed the national record in 4x4. He ran a 46.7 split as a junior. Jeez, Christmas. This guy's going to be, if he can stay healthy, this guy's going to be something special. While I'm at it, I saw this lady run when I was 2 years ago, last time we ran summer track. Athene Moo ran in the Nationals in Greensboro, North Carolina. This young lady won a mile, the 800, 400, and barely lost the 2. She was going to be the first person, I think, to ever win a mile, 800, 4, and 2. She lost the 2 by a hair. And she comes to Texas A&M which is coached by one of my favorite people, Coach Pat Henry. His son, I played with his son in high school. He coached at LSU, and LSU did him wrong, so he went to a better spot for him. Athena went to Texas A&M, and she ran a 1:58 half mile this weekend for the under 20 record. 1:58. There are professionals running 1:58, and she is a true freshman. Track is in good hands, man. Matthew Boland had a bad 200 meters, but man, that's one of the things about being American in track. It's just the talent level and the depth is just ridiculous. But I know y'all probably don't want to hear track, but you're going to be hearing a lot of track from me during this time because this is track season. And if you don't know now, you know I am a track guy. So I think that's all I got. I appreciate you guys going through the technical difficulties and continuing to watch. And I will see you guys tomorrow on The Locker with me and Anthony White, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will see you on Quarantine with Styles Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again for watching. And I will see you guys tomorrow night on The Locker. And I'll see you guys Wednesday right here at the normal schedule time. Hopefully nothing goes wrong.